Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the MACE Podcast. I'm your host, Marco Macente, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Today, as always, we are gonna make a special episode as our stop is Canada with a special guest, Kim Pilkington. Kim is a Canadian and owner of the Practical Strategist consultancy, specializing in communications, stakeholder relationship management, governance, organization, and emergency management. She is a globally certified management consultant and she has a bachelor degree in psychology and she has an MBA. She brings more than 20 years of experience of leading teams and individuals in the creation and successful implementation of many challenging strategies, including market growth and exits, operational reviews and realignment in the private, government, and the no-profit sectors. I was able to connect with Kims through Bonnie Low Kramen, international speaker and author, thanks to the article that Bonnie and Kim wrote on career management, and that I was able to discuss with Bonnie in the last episode that you can find in the Maze Podcast library. This episode that I'm gonna make with Kim is entirely focused on strategy. What does it mean building a strategy? Which are the steps to build a good strategy? Who is entitled to build a strategy and drive it forward? Please enjoy our conversation. Buongiorno, Kim. Welcome to the Maze Podcast. How are you?
Roberto Marco, it's so nice to be here today. I am doing fabulously.
Wow, what a great energy that you're sharing with us, Kim. So I'm so happy and I'm so thrilled to have you as a guest in the MACE podcast, tuning in from Canada. So welcome again, and it's a pleasure to have you here. So, Kim, I have already shared with the audience a little bit of your background and a little bit of your experience. I have already mentioned that this episode will be entirely focused on strategy. So I have the first question for you in order to kick off our interaction. Strategy is a big topic, studied and written about by many. What is strategy to you, Kim?
Strategy to me is actively pursuing and preparing for the future that you envision. And when I say you envision, I mean your company, your team, you personally. So it's future focused and it's active.
Yeah.
It's more than wishing, it's more than thinking, it's more than planning. Like a good strategy is being honest about the current state, clear about the expectations, and really driven to hit goals that are important to you that matter.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Kim. And that's why I wanted to deep dive a little bit into this topic, asking you if, from your perspective, is a strategy most relevant in our working or professional life? What do you think?
A good strategy is about acting on informed choices that lead yourself or your team or your company to where it needs to get to,
Yeah.
leading for the future in today's rapidly evolving environment means really taking informed chances, right? Making insightful decisions and going for it, acting, right?
Yeah.
So that applies, I think, at work and home.
Yeah, of course. And since the strategy pretty much is applicable to every aspect of our life, right? Professional or personal, which are, in your opinion, the common steps or the best steps in order to build a good strategy?
Oh, that's a good one. Good question. Strategy can be very complicated, but I tend to break it down to 5 practical steps. So the first one is really knowing yourself. Get help identifying and mitigating any blind spots or biases that you have, but you implement strategy based on who you are and your strengths, right?
Yeah.
And your weaknesses. So it has to start with yourself. You got to know yourself first.
Yeah, of course. This is very important, and it starts from us. And of course, is it needs to be consistent with who we are. That's very important. What about the second step that you found and that you think it's useful?
Once you're realistic and honest about yourself, you need to dream. You need to identify, that long-term beautiful goal. That goal, it should be big. It should inspire you. It should challenge you. Um, Big strategy, good strategy is connected to our heart. So it needs to be aligned with both your passions
Yeah.
as well as the principles that you hold yourself accountable to.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with
Yeah.
you. And if I may, I would like also to share my personal experience because
Ooh,
um, one of our common friend who is Bonnie Low Kramen, the one that partnered with you, right, writing the article that we mentioned in one of our episodes that the audience can find in the MACE podcast library on career management. I was able to connect with amazing people that belong to our network. One of these is you, one of these is Bonnie, and through insightful conversation, I was able to recognize the passion and the why which I believe in. And I would like to witness that understanding the why, understanding your alignment with what you feel deep inside is something that, of course, makes the difference. And is something that, of course, can help you to build a good strategy. Would you agree?
Oh, completely. Absolutely. Like your passions and your principles have to be there. Somebody else can't write a strategy for you to implement well. It has
Yeah,
to ring true to you.
yeah,
And you mentioned Bonnie Low Kramen. And now here is a woman, a professional who understands the importance of a strategy, and that's in aligned with the individual. If for the listeners, if you haven't heard that other great episode, everybody should be reading Staff Matters,
yeah.
whether you're a C-suite executive, if you're new to your career, a manager, frontline employee, you can benefit from Bonnie's book, Staff Matters, because she looks at the individual, she looks at the strategy, what your plan is. She's clear focused and really practical. So I share in big cheers with you
Yeah,
the
yeah.
importance of what Bonnie brings in terms of bringing those passions with you and your principles to develop and move forward. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is something that transpire from the article that you wrote with Bonnie, right, about career management. The importance to find your why and to have a plan in place. I recall the fact, right, the 4 steps in order to realize what actually you dream about your career and about your aspirations, in order to make sure that you do good actions and that you put in reality the things that you have in your head, speaking about career management. So yeah, it's amazing.
Exactly. And that's why step three
Yeah,
is planning.
yeah,
What does success look like for you? So is it having this kind of job, this kind of responsibility, and this kind of environment? Is it growing your company exponentially by this revenue base? Is it expanding? What is it? What plan about what success looks like to you, and build that plan? So that's step three. And then once you've done that plan, you move on to step four,
yeah,
which is act. Yeah,
yeah,
again, strategy isn't dreaming and wishing, it's doing. And when it comes to ACT, I would just suggest people use, a classic project management cycle of initiate, plan,
yeah.
execute, monitor, control, and close up. Like, make it happen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And now the last step I recall that you mentioned is celebrate. Can you please share with us
Yes,
what do you mean about the celebrating?
work and life can be hard. It's
Yeah,
hard work. It can
yeah,
take a lot out of us, no matter how positive or whatever we are. And I really think it's important when we uh, dream of a strategy, plan it, and implement it, that we take the time in step five to actually celebrate what we learned, celebrate with those that helped us along the way to get there, really embrace that gratitude of this was a big deal. It's worth pausing. What did I learn? Did it go exactly as planned? Yet to see a strategy that ever does. Let's celebrate. Take that time. Absolutely celebrate when you've worked hard. Most strategies fail. So if you come anywhere close to it, and no matter how long it takes you, good for you and good for those that supported you. So celebrate it.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for sharing these 5-step planning when building a strategy, because I really think that these can help the audience to build a strategy, and of course I'm sure that the audience will treasure these insights as I will. Now, wrapping up, Kim, may I ask you what are your final thoughts, or where are you getting to? What is 2024 bringing to you, if you wanted to share something with the audience?
Had a lifelong love with
Yeah,
strategy.
yeah,
But I have to say that my biggest reward in my business is really shining a light on strategic options and helping people and businesses and organizations create a plan that gets you or your company from where you are today to where you need to be, and where you is my biggest kick. So if I am blessed in 2024 to continue doing this work, I will be a happy Kim.
yeah,
I will be a
yeah.
happy Kim.
And I can perceive this positive energy, Kim, that you are sharing and that you have. So I'm sure that this energy is gonna be one of the driver that will guide you, throughout your pathway on building strategy and helping other to find their strategy as well. So thanks a lot, Kim. It has been a pleasure to speak to you and to have this interaction entirely focused on strategy and building strategy. I'm sure that these tips and insights will help the audience to know more about what strategy is all about. So wishing you all the best. Again, I look forward to speaking to you again, and I cannot wait to meeting you. Why not? Maybe in a future event. Thanks a lot.
Well, Marco, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.